Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to walk through the strategy that I use to defeat the chemist in the radiation zone of DMZ as a solo player. This is required to unlock the new M13B assault rifle, and it can be pretty challenging, but if you're careful, prepare beforehand, get the right gear, it is doable. So I'll kind of share the process that I use to complete this, and then also show gameplay footage of the whole process as well. So starting off, probably the most important part of all of this is just making sure that you have the right gear beforehand, especially if you're trying to do this as a solo player. I honestly wouldn't even attempt it unless at the very least you've got a 3-plate armor vest, a gas mask, and radiation pills. And then also ideally you've got a medium or large backpack to hold a pretty decent supply of reserve armor plates, as well as maybe a few gas masks as well. So if you don't have those things, it's really worth the time just to spend a few extra rounds with the sole purpose of getting geared up before you even trying an attempt. Quickly going over just a few examples of some places where you can find these items. There's a place by the airport that I like quite a bit, which I've marked on the map here. This area always has quite a few legendary chests that will spawn, and each one of these has a pretty good potential of dropping at least one of these items. And then if you're looking for a gas mask specifically, you can buy them at the store. However, I like to do the secure nuclear materials contract instead, as that will get you a durable gas mask, which lasts a little bit longer than the standard ones. So typically you'll get these in the cache while you're doing that contract, which you can see here. For the radiation pills, you can typically find them in bathrooms in the first aid kits or the medicine cabinet. So you can see here I found some in this first aid kit here. So typically just going from house to house looking in the bathrooms is a good strategy, but they'll also be found on just random loot boxes as well around the map too. Finally, just the train is just another great place to get just generally good loot, whether it's an armor vest, backpack, radiation pills, gas mask, whatever. So that's also an option too, is just launching into a game and then just basically heading straight for the train and looting that. And typically you will get, as you can see, I'm getting all sorts of good loot here, so that's a good strategy as well. All right, so now we're completely geared up. You can see the kit that I ran with to complete this. I've got kind of all the main things I talked about. I've got my 3-plate armor vest. I've got my gas mask with a few extra gas masks in my backpack. I've got my radiation pills, and then I also have a bunch of backup armor plates. So that was what I would recommend going in with. In terms of the weapon, I would highly recommend using an LMG and building out an LMG in your insured weapon class and using that with the largest magazine you can put on it. I used a 100-round mag, which worked out really well. I did try using a sniper rifle in a couple attempts, and I just don't think that was quite as effective, especially when it came to actually trying to kill the chemist. But I really think the best route to take here is an LMG with a very, very large magazine, which you'll see when I show the gameplay of actually doing this. Now going into the radiation zone and actually trying to attempt this, the first step we're going to do is pop our radiation blocker pills. So we'll do that, and once that's done, you'll notice that we get in the bottom left portion of the screen, we've got 120 seconds or 2 minutes where the radiation isn't going to affect us, so neither with the gas mask. So that's probably honestly one of the most powerful items of attempting this, is you get a full 2 minutes where the radiation doesn't do anything to you. Once that expires, then your gas mask will start to tick down. As that gas mask gets destroyed, you'll automatically put in the next gas mask that's in your backpack, and then kind of go through that sort of process. I got in the car thinking on this attempt that I could just drive in and run him over real quick. It'd be super easy. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. As we'll see here, they disable the car pretty quick. So here I'm thinking I can just drive to the chemist, run him over, and then they disable the car. So you can see, if we go back, the chemist is right there in the yellow sort of hazard suit. So what I'm heading towards is the shack here right in the middle. So as the car gets stable, it's like, all right, plan B. So I jump out of the car and head into this shack. There's going to be enemies absolutely everywhere. So close the door, plate up if you need to. And then here, basically, we're just going to hide in here and let the enemies come to us. Really, I think one of the main things to keep in mind here is don't feel panicked for time. The first couple times I did this, I felt like I needed to rush run in as fast as I can, get it done as fast as I can, and get out. With the radiation pills and all your gas masks, you're really going to have plenty of time. So, be patient, take your time. Again, you've got 2 minutes with the pills before your gas masks even come into play. So, I hid in here basically, played it up, and now we've got a 100-round mag to just sort of blow out enemies as they come towards us. So, again, just be patient, play it safe, use the shed as cover. The enemies will come to you, so you can sort of take them out. And then eventually the chemist will come to you, hopefully. If not, I mean, you can still take out all the enemies as they come towards you. So, sit back, reload, play it up if you need to. So here's the chemist. He came to us. So he's going to take quite a bit of bullets. It's nothing crazy like a juggernaut, but he does, take a couple rounds there. So that was, about 40 rounds from my LMG. Now he's dead. There's still going to be tons of enemies that you have to deal with, so it's not safe yet. One thing to notice too, that guy's flying in the air, these guys will drop armor plates and gas masks as well, so that even stresses that point where you don't need to panic even further, as there's going to be additional gas masks and additional plates that you can pick up too. So again, take your time, use cover, whether it's this shed or another building. You can sit back. And this is a really good example of why that large magazine is important. I just, blew through a whole bunch of enemies there. They might start, swarming you if you're trying to reload. But again, just try and, take the cover, play it up as you need. And then once you feel like things have sort of calmed down a little bit, you can, peek out and see what things look like. One other thing to call out too is that they do use smoke quite a bit, smoke bombs. So I didn't do this, but it might be worth or maybe a good idea to use a thermal scope. I don't know. I didn't try that, but it might be something to keep in mind. So here we've got a few, I think there's a few remaining enemies that we're going to clean up here. I still got 13 seconds left on my radiation pills, so we haven't even started using our gas mask yet. I think I can peek out, a couple enemies left here. Clean that guy up. And then here's all of the chaos that we've caused here. So now what we need to do here is when we killed the chemist, he dropped his M13B, so we need to pick that up. So I kind of struggled a little bit trying to find it from all the loot, but I think I find it. So it's this gold gun here, so we want to grab that. And once you get that, then it's just time to leave. So here I take off and head outside the radiation zone. One other thing to call out is that this is kind of specific to the location that I did. So the radiation zone is going to be in a different spot each time you load into the game. But I think the sort of the overall strategy sort of still carries over. But for example, like one time I was going to do it, but the radiation zone was over observatory. And I just have not had good luck with that area. So I was like, not doing that. So I just extracted out, jumped into another game, and then got this spot. So again, it's going to be in different areas depending on the game. But I think the strategy still plays out the same, where, kind of find a building or a place of cover and sort of hunker down there and let the enemies come to you and defeat them at that spot. So final step, you do have to successfully make it out of the game for all of this to count. So nothing special there, but I know for me it was super nerve-wracking, just the fact that if I die here, I have to do this all over again. But yeah, so like once you make it out of the radiation zone, head to an extraction point, call in the helicopter. So hopefully that all goes smoothly and you make it out successfully. And once that's done, you'll have the M13B in your inventory to use in loadouts and things like that. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I know I struggled a little bit until I kind of really methodically kind of went through all this, got all my gear and everything. So I think once you do that, it makes it significantly easier. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye.